So before we get into any lengthy discussion about the API details, I wanted to give you an example of the final working product. So here I have a CRM system. This is Highrise from 37 Signals. And you can see I have a contact in here. His name is David, and I have his phone number and his email. And I have installed the corresponding plugin in Ringio for this code, this implementation. And as a result, Ringio is synchronizing this contact between Highrise and Ringio. So let me show you the contact in Ringio. And you can see him, or let's look for him. Let's see what happens. So there he is. I can see the information, and you can see right here that there's a website link, and I can already pop it, and it's going to open the corresponding page in the Highrise CRM system. Now, if now somebody named David were to call Ringio, this is what I would see. So now this person's calling.
David, thanks for calling San Aparicio. Just a moment.
He gets a greeting, and now I get a screen pop, and I can answer the call. And now we're connected. I'm gonna hang up, and I'm gonna write a note about our conversation. I'm gonna say, David is a very sharp guy who doesn't mince words. So that's a typical Ringio note that's stored in the Ringio system. But now there's a couple of new things that, because of the CRM API, have been enabled. So let me show you. Okay, so if we now go back to our web browser and we refresh the page, what you're going to see is a couple of new objects. You're going to see a couple of notes. You're going to see that Ringio logged into Highrise the phone call. It tells you who called, what user picked the phone call, and this also works for outbound phone calls. So whether it's a support scenario where people are taking phone calls and you want to log them into a CRM, or if it's for cold calling and you just want to log the activity of salespeople, it's going to show you how long the call was, what kind of call was, whether it was a direct call or if the person had called into a sales department or marketing department. And it's also going to log whatever notes I typed. So how does this whole thing work? How did we get here? What did I have to do to make all this happen? It's actually, from the user perspective, pretty simple. All I had to do was go to my Ringio account, and you're going to see here in the dashboard, there's a new section called the Plugin Marketplace. So I click on Ringio Plugin Marketplace, and you can see that we have a variety of vendor providers plugged in here. Most of these are not implemented yet. We're looking for sharp developers to do this kind of work. But you see that the Highrise one is installed. And so I clicked on install plugin or manage plugin, and now it gives me a simple description of the system. You click on authorize, and then you have a chance to introduce some information that's specific to the implementation of Highrise that you are managing. In this case, it's the subdomain, the Highrise subdomain and token. And this is information that you would normally collect from the end users and store in your code to be able to talk to the CRM system on the other end. So once you do that, then your plugin starts doing the work. In this case, the Highrise plugin starts doing the work of synchronizing a variety of objects. It synchronizes phone calls from Ringio into the CRM. It synchronizes contacts both ways. So if you add a contact in Ringio, it adds it to Highrise. If you add a contact in Highrise, it adds it to Ringio. If you write a note about a contact in Highrise, it pushes it to Ringio, and vice versa. And the object model of the API is very simple, and it's something that you can use in a variety of ways. For example, in the case of Highrise, there's no concept of a phone call that can be accessible through their API, so we mapped Ringio phone calls to nodes. And in each CRM, you're going to have a different kind of object model to map, but nothing too complicated.